This first Battlefield 6 trailer is exactly what everyone's been asking and expecting of DICE to put into Battlefield for the last couple of years. Obviously, it's no secret that DICE Battlefield is on its very last legs. A lot of people even thought 2042 would have been the nail in the coffin. But if you've played 2042 over the last couple of years, you know that it's actually in a playable state and actually a pretty good game. Except nobody knows that because every single person who initially bought it returned it and got that refund right away because the launch was that pitiful. To be honest, I'm getting the vibes this is actually a really good thing and this upcoming game could actually be amazing. Think about movie franchises that are on their last leg and they recognize nobody cares about them and all the pressure is on, so the studio hunkers down, really locks in, and then gives us a product that we actually love. Think Batman Begins after... And that might be exactly what's happening with DICE and Battlefield right here. I think they recognize this is it. This is the last straw. If they don't get this right here, they're gonna have to sell the IP or give it to someone else or just completely put it down. The way they released 2042 absolutely broke the trust between the gamers and the studio. For what seems like over 20 years, Battlefield has given us some of our favorite gaming moments, some of the most intense, epic things we've ever seen come out of a console or a PC. I hate to say it, but what DICE did with 2042 was essentially the equivalent to a crypto rug pull on their community and fans. Except the rug pull was so frowned upon and bad that you actually had to give refunds to the rug pull. So essentially all DICE has to do is build on what they got finished in 2042. Build on it, give us something more eccentric, more beautiful, more emotional, draw us into the story, which is actually what they're doing with it being on the United States soil. It's really no secret when your art, whatever it might be, a movie, a TV show, a song, a video game, when you're struggling, your best bet is to connect with your audience emotionally. For evidence, all you have to do is look at the Suicide Squad and the impact of that trailer. During that time, the DCU was an absolute shambles, and then the Suicide Squad trailer came out and made everyone so hyped for that movie, even though the movie absolutely sucked. But you get the point. With over 500,000 signatures on the wish list on Steam, it feels like this game's trailer has absolutely woken up the Battlefield community. And that's what's happening here. Attack America, show our favorite monuments getting destroyed with really good gameplay. Yeah, we're gonna be bought back in. Not because I want to see America destroyed, but because I want to protect my homeland. I do think we're going to see an honest correction in the entire gaming industry. The last 10-15 years has just been microtransaction obsessed, but in the process has lost the trust of every single person playing their title. And yeah, it does make sense that studios focus on microtransactions because it makes way more money than a campaign that you play once and you never touch again. But the reality is you can't skip on heart, passion, effort. We know what you're doing. We recognize you don't really care about the game, you just care about the profits, which means we don't want to give you the money. It's that simple. I think one of the main issues with so many gaming developers these days is that they're so obsessed with creating something new. And while the reality is new is usually pretty cool because we've never tried it before, there's also the reality that doing something that works at a high level also works. Battlefield is one of, if not the only gaming franchise that really allows us to experience what it might be like on a massive battlefield. And the gaming industry has felt its absence. Call of Duty is much more close-knit, close quarters, while Battlefield was always the one that felt much more large. It felt like you were a part of something massive. And we miss that. We want that back. Battlefield belongs in the gaming industry. It belongs on the rotation of games I play. Battlefield 2042, in essence, doesn't suck. Its release sucked. And we all know we only get one first impression, and their first impression was garbaggio. As a Battlefield veteran, I think I speak for most of us when I say we're just looking for awesome maps with huge explosions, lots of vehicles, ways for us to work with our squad mates, and the basic things like a scoreboard, a leaderboard, having the game work, things like that they didn't quite include in 2042. And while this is just the campaign trailer, it feels like the amount of effort and heart that went into this campaign, which is a pretty good indicator that the multiplayer got just as much or even more love, which means we could be at the cusp of one of the best video games ever, or we're about to see the very last video game that DICE ever releases. Let me know in the comments what you think of the trailer, what you're expecting, what you think will be great, what you think will be terrible. All right, that's enough yapping for today. As always, go out there and do something great. And then maybe watch one more video before we go and do slime. There's a couple, they're getting better.